We'll switch on over to the tip of the week. And this question comes up from time to time, especially if you're setting up your site for the first time. Why can't members select more than one top level category? It seems like it should be able to, but we're going to explain in this tip of the week. David, if it's okay with you, we can pass it over and you could take us through some of this logic and why things are set up this way and how to work around them.
Absolutely. I think you introduced it perfectly here. So if we dive right on into the first slide here, starting kind of at ground level, just briefly covering what member categories are. Essentially, it's a hierarchy to organize your members within your directory. So members can be searched for and found within your directory based on the categories that you've set up in the back end and that they've selected from within their account. Members can only be listed though in one top level category, as Jason mentioned, but they can select multiple subcategories as well as subcategories. We'll be talking about this last point primarily here in this presentation, why it's set up this way, how to kind of get around it, when you might encounter this sort of scenario, everything like that. Going right on into the primary question here, members can only select one top level category. Again, this is the primary grouping or kind of the main bucket that a single member is listed within on your website. So the most generic top level categories would be things like general user, member, business, things like that. Now, if you're going to have multiple top level categories, then they really should be broad and distinct from one another. They should be so broad and distinct that it would be unlikely for a member to end up needing to select multiple top level categories to be listed within, because again, they can only select one top level category anyway. So some quick examples of broad and distinct top level categories would be things like doctor, lawyer, construction, pets. It would be unlikely that a doctor would need to be listed in the doctor category as well as construction and pets. So by making the top level categories broad and distinct in this way, we eliminate or at least reduce the likelihood that members would actually end up needing to select multiple top level categories. So with a correct category structure, a member should never need to select multiple top level categories. And if they do, then your top level categories should actually be subcategories, more specialized within broader top level categories. I know we're going to be throwing the word category and categories around a lot in this webinar, so we do have some examples and screenshots thrown in as well to hopefully help clarify some points if you get a little confused as we go through this. So most directory websites do have multiple broad and unique top level categories set up in their site. And members can select then just a single top level category that they would best fit into, for example, doctor or construction. Visitors, on the other hand, can then search for members with just a basic top level category search module. Most BD sites, I think, start off with the top level category, or it might be keyword and location based search modules, but there is one just for top level category. This is what it looks like, where the website visitor would only be able to select one top level category, and then they would be presented with all of the members who are within that single category.
Right, or they'll start their search filtering with the top level category, and then some of the sub filters for the subcategories and additional specialties that fall within that top level category.
Correct. So when should you use only one top level category though? Well, when you think to yourself that my members, they will need to select more than one top level category, I know the logic in that sounds a little backwards, but again, if members are going to need to select multiple categories, then they're going to be needing to select subcategories because they can only select one top level category. So again, if you have a website that's focused on one specific industry, then it's likely that members will have multiple different specialties within that industry that they'll want to select to be listed and found within. And again, these specialties should be subcategories, not top level categories. And we have an example to help clarify this point here. So for a lawyer or attorney directory, it's all the website is for to find lawyers or attorneys. Lawyers can specialize though in multiple fields. So the website, it would only have one top level category called lawyer or attorney, legal professional, something like that, really broad. And then the subcategories would then be the legal specialties that the members actually practice. So in this example here, this search module is only showing the subcategory dropdown. That's one, what lawyer do you need? And then it's also showing subcategories. That's the second dropdown there, select a specialty. So it's totally excluding the selection for top level category because there's no need for a website visitor to select the only top level category that exists on the website. It would be just an unnecessary step. So selecting a top level category in this case has been excluded. And so then they can just get right on into selecting one of the subcategories, in this case, the field of law that a lawyer might be practicing. And then if they further want to clarify what type of lawyer they're looking for, they can then select a specialty, which would be a subcategory. So we'll show you now some tips and tricks to kind of get all of this set up, working well, get the user experience on point for both the members as well as the website visitors or the general users. And I think as we go through some of these, if you're still a little bit confused on the setup of the category structure here, I think as we go through these, again, it'll help to clarify some points.
Awesome. So I think we can just start again. For those of you that have your site set up, this might not be relatable for you right now, but in case you have another site idea in the future, these are good concepts to grasp in general. So the first thing is, if you're only going to have one top level category, set up your site with just one top level category. And then also we want to use the search modules that exclude having to select the top level category because it's redundant because all the members would fall under that in the first place. So let's take a look at the admin area here, and we'll start at the dashboard. So the first place you're going to spend most of your time when you're setting up your site is under My Members and Member Categories. And all the sites start off with just a few, 3 or 4 sample dummy categories. But in this case, the first tab is top level category. And you're going to want to make sure that if you're going this route, at least when you're initially setting up, make sure you just have one top level category. And then all the subcategories and the sub level categories will be pinned to that top level category. In this case, we've called the top level category member. As David mentioned, you could have it called lawyer if you're just a lawyer directory. But pro tip here, and it's one of the tips down the line, is maybe you want to give this a short SEO keyword friendly name as the top level category, because this is sometimes sprinkled around the site in the code and things like that. So we could take advantage of this, and it could be Boston lawyer or a city lawyer or some other focus that your website has. Or if you want to go super generic, you could just use the word user or whatever you think is the most generic word you can use. And then all the subs and subcategories will be pinned under that top level category. So in this case, this category was called member, and all our subs are pinned to the top level category member, as well as the subs. It's pinned under member and then the sub level category here. And so that's 1 and 2. And there are some advanced settings that we can take advantage of to hide the top level category from displaying around the site as it does by default. The first one would be in the member profile URL format. So when a member signs up, what's really cool about BD is it creates a really keyword friendly and SEO friendly URL for the member's profile page. Let's take a look at that together with our sample member here. Let me get out of this mode here. Okay, so what we can see here is this member, Lisa Jones, it's using the state, the city, and the member's name as their URL. Now we have a few settings to modify this, and let me show you where those are. If we go to the advanced settings, And I think we can search for profile URL. Here we go. Member profile URL structure. So we have available elements and we have the current URL order. So in this case, it's just set up for state, city, and member name. We can add the top level category. In fact, I think that this is how it starts by default. You can even add the postal code and the country name, and you can even move them around to make a longer URL if you wanted to, and so forth. But what we can do in this case is we can X out and remove the top level category so that it is not part of the member's profile URL. It won't be part of the URL here. And if we save this, and we'll go ahead and just save this. And if this member comes back and saves their changes again to their basic information, it will automatically update their profile URL to what the website owner has set. And it creates a 301 redirect. So the old URL will now redirect to this new URL. So you won't lose any traffic. Let's go to visit public profile. And we can see here we have, well, this person didn't enter a zip code. That's why it's not here. But we see United States, California, Los Angeles. Here we see the top level category, member, and the person's name. Let me just remove a couple things here. Okay, and let's go back here. And let's remove the country. Let's just do it with the person's name. Let's just play around with it. It'll be a good little test here for us. Okay, let's refresh this page. And we'll save the changes. Just hitting enter here on one of the fields. Okay, and view listing. So we can see here, now we have a URL. It's just the person's name. And if you set it up like this, the system is actually smart enough. If there's two members with the same name, it will add like a -1 or a -2 so that they do have their own unique URLs. Just like on Twitter, you want to be the first one with your name, but it's usually taken and you have to add some things to the end of it. But in this case, we can now see that it's just Lisa Jones, and we've hidden the top level category here. So this is pretty good. If you're hyper-focused on your SEO, you may want to play around with this and see what is best for your SEO planning and model. The next one is to hide the top level category on the member profile page. So on the member's profile page, generally right up here in this top area, it will list the top level category. So that is also an advanced setting. And let me search for hide top. And here is the setting, hide top level category on member profile page. This is on. Let's turn it off for a moment. And remember, the top level category on this website is named member. So if we refresh the page, we'll see the word member here now. Here it is. So if we want to hide this, we just come to the advanced setting and enable this to hide top level category on member profile page. Perfect. So now we've hidden it from the URL. We've hidden it right here at the top, and that is good. More advanced settings, and a good way to take advantage of highlighting some of the subcategories that the member has selected. We can actually show the subcategories on the member's profile page as well as in the search results. Let's go to a search results page here. We'll click on Los Angeles in the breadcrumbs. We turn this into a static page. Cool. So we can see here it says category member, and if we're hiding the top level category, this is undesired. Let me show you how you can hide this from the search results. Let me search for top level, and you guys can take note of what I'm typing in here. I did type top-level, and if we scroll down, let me find the right setting. Okay, let's make note of this. We might have to update the name so it's easier to find. Yes, here it is. Show top category in member search results. This is enabled by default. So we want to turn this off. So we do not want to show the top level category in the member search results. And I'll just save those changes. And we'll refresh this page. And we can see now it does not say category member. Now actually, let's select some subcategories. We haven't done that for this member. Let's just select we just did a sample sub and sub level. Sub level 1, and their sub level categories. We'll just do a bunch of these and save the changes. Okay, so now this person definitely has subcategories selected. Let me refresh here and see if they're showing. So great. So the specialties, we can now see it's limited to just a certain number because members can select whatever you allow them to. It could be 100, and we don't want to cannibalize the search results page, but we can get a small preview of the members' specialties here. And this is also an advanced setting. So you want to make sure this might be enabled on your site as opposed to the show top categories in member search results. So now let me search for show sub, and that should get us the setting we're looking for. Here it is, show subcategories in member search results. I'll turn it off just as a quick test, and we'll refresh the page. So we see it's not there now, but if your choice is the website owner, it's probably good for SEO too. You can enable this and hit Save Changes. And now we see a small preview of the subcategories, the specialties or subcategories this member is a part of. And also now that this member has selected subcategories, we can see their specialties on their profile page as well. We can see sublevel 1, and this is slightly indented, so we can see a list of the subcategories, and then another subcategory and the subcategories. So this is how to better highlight the subcategories and not so much the top level category. This next one here, letter D, pre-selecting the top level category when the member signs up. So if we're only going to have one top level category, we don't want the member to have to select that when they're filling out their profile. That is the best describes you field when they're filling out their profile. Let's go there together real quick. So this is their basic information, and we can see here, best describes you. Basically, they're choosing their top level category. There is only one top level category here. So we really don't need the member to select this on their own. And there is a setting, so when the member signs up, they'll automatically be pinned to this top level category. Let me show you where that is, and I'm also going to share another video that we did from a previous webinar. If we go to membership plans, and we'll just edit any membership plan. So you might want to do this for all your membership plans if you only have one top level category. And we can use the search filter here. Let me search for pre-select. There we go. Search for pre-select here. And you can pre-select the top level category. So the member will never see this, but when they sign up to this membership plan, so you might want to do this for all your membership plans with one top level category, they'll automatically be pinned to the top level category that you've set here. Now, if you have multiple top level categories, this is also awesome. You might have a membership plan for doctors, a membership plan for lawyers, or whatever it might be, and you can pin the top category automatically to a membership plan. So that's also a great way to kind of sync up membership plans with top level categories. There might be different price points, different features, different search visibility that they might have. So there are a lot of use cases for wanting to pre-select the top level category with the membership plan. But in this example, with only one top category on the site, why don't we go ahead and pre-select that so the member does not need to worry about that. And let me share a video we did in a previous webinar, which covers this in more detail about pre-selecting. Here we go. How to pre-select categories, also company versus individual when a member signs up. Not the most elegant title there, but it does explain what this article is about. So there's a quick video on this page, and it goes into more detail. So that was D, pre-selecting the top level category when a member signs up. And then E, we just saw this, they also don't need to see the best describes you field in their basic information section. We've already pre-selected their top level category. They're not going to change it, and there is nothing else to select. So let me quickly show you how to hide the best describes you field in the basic information form. So this is the form here, basic information, and we can certainly edit this and add or remove whatever we want. In this case, we want to hide or not include the best describes you field because they don't need to select a top level category now. So to do this, we'll go to Form Manager, and we're almost done with this list, I promise you guys. We'll go to Form Manager, and what we want to look for is the listing. I think it's called Contact Details Member right here, Listing Contact Details Member. You can see here, member contact details is the short code name. We can go ahead and customize this. And when we're customizing it, what we can search for is the top category list. And what we can do is just hide this. You can delete it if you want, or in case you might bring it back, you might want to just click on the cog and under display settings, turn off input view. So input view is when you're filling out a form and inputting data. We don't want this field to show. So I'll go ahead and save those changes. And this should work now, where it will not show on the input field. So I'll refresh this page. And there we go. We do not see the best describes you anymore. We've pre-selected it when the member signs up. So top level category is out of mind, out of sight for this member now. And the last thing is what I've mentioned earlier. F is you may want to take advantage of this. The top level category may be sprinkled in other parts of the site or some search results pages here and there. You might stumble upon it. So you might want to choose something that's actually keyword friendly for your site that probably matches your industry or location that you're serving. For example, we'll stick with the lawyer directory in Boston. You might want the top level category to be Boston lawyer or Boston lawyers or Boston legal. So something still short, but if somebody stumbled upon that or search engines crawl that, it will help your SEO, not hurt your SEO, or it can add value in some shape, way, or form. So those are just a few tips and tricks. And I think the last thing I forgot was the searches on the home page and the sidebars. Let me cover that real quick. So in David's example, let me go back a couple slides. He showed this example that dives right into the subcategory and sub-sub selection options. Let me show you where you can find that for your home page and your sidebar when you're searching for members in the search results page, the sidebar search module there. So on the home page, if you're going to have a search filter there, some people are choosing to have buttons now as opposed to having the search right on the home page. But in design settings, under the home page section, go to the second box here. It's called Search Box Call to Action. And we can see here I've selected a search module that includes the sub and sub-sub search. There are ones that include top, sub, and sub-sub search, but because we only have one top level category, it is redundant to ask the visitor to select the top level category. So we want to skip all of the search modules that include top in them. So there are several that we might want to take advantage of. Subcategory and sub-sub filters, and that's what we have here. The subcategory and then the sub-sub category. You can do subcategory and location, so it will not include sub-sub category. It will just be the subcategory and a location field. You can also do only a subcategory, or you can go for the whole enchilada and do sub, sub-sub, and location search. So lots of, basically every combination you can have is listed here. And let's do this one here, sub, sub-sub, and location. And we'll refresh just as soon as this saves. We'll refresh this here. And we can see here now we also have the search by location field. Quick tip when you do this, don't forget you can update the text labels. So this starts with specializing in. You can see here you can change the text labels. We'll do it directly from the admin. You can click on it and we can change specializing into what type of lawyer do you need? And we'll go ahead and save those changes. So they would select probably the subcategory that David kind of had in his example: corporate law, employment law, securities, tax law. And instead of more options, which is just a very generic subheading for that, we can put specializing in here and save those changes. And we'll get rid of the text label changer. So you come to the site and it says, what type of lawyer do you need? Specializing in, and also search by location. So now there's more context, it makes more sense, and guess what? We're not selecting a top level category at all. It's hidden, and the user and your members won't even know what's happening behind the scenes. David, did I miss anything? I tried to be as thorough as possible here.
Yeah, the last thing to show would be how to change the search filter in sidebars, like on the member profile pages or search results page.
Perfect. Okay. So we can see here when you're on a member search page, there is a search module here, and there is a way to edit this and change this just like you do on your home page. Just a few more clicks to get to this. So here you want to go to My Content and Edit Post Settings. The member listings are technically a post type, and it should be your first post type. I'm going to scroll down. So you can see here, these are your videos, properties, job listings. You should see listings or member listings. I'll go ahead and click Edit under Member Listings. And as David mentioned, this is the sidebar search module on the search results pages. So this will be under Search Results Design. And if we scroll down here, there is a blue toggle button here, additional settings, lots of good settings in here. If we scroll down just a little bit, we can see here sidebar search module to use. And it's kind of listed the same way. We see just look at the end here. You see top category only, top category and location. And then we see the subcategory only, subcategory and location, sublocation. Let's switch to just subcategory only and save the changes. And let's see it change on the search results page. Okay. And we can see here just the subcategory search. So you really have control over what search module you want to use on the home page and in the sidebar here as well. And I'm sure there's more, but I think that covers 90% of the workaround to use your site when you only have one top level category.